Today's topic is reforms of Lord William Bentinck. It is an important topic in the syllabus of History of Modern India. The following subheadings are related to reforms of Lord William Bentinck. The first one is financial reforms. Second one is administrative and revenue reforms. Third one is judicial reforms. Fourth one is public works reforms. Fifth one is educational reforms. And sixth one is our last social reforms of Lord William Bentinck. The introduction of the Lord William Bentinck. Lord William Bentinck was appointed as Governor General of India in 1828 after the success of Lord Amherst. His tenure of the Governor General of India between 1828 and 1835. He was the most liberal of all the Governor General of India who had came to India. He became the first Governor General of India according to provisions of the Chartered Act of 1833. He introduced some beneficial reforms for the welfare of people in India during his reign. He was born in 1774. He commenced his career as a soldier. Later, at the young age of 22, became a member of Parliament in England. In 1803, he was appointed the Governor General of Madras. He supported Sir Thomas Munro on the revenue administration in Madras. The Vellore Mutiny of 1806, which was the most important landmark in the history of India, which resulted in Bentinck's recall. As Governor General, Bentinck had initiated an era of progress and reforms. The reforms of William Bentinck. The coming of Lord William Bentinck, who ushered in a new era in the annals of India in many ways. His tenure of office, which covered only a short span of 7 years, it saw a period of enduring reforms in India. His reforms may be classified as financial, administrative, social, and educational in the history of India. The first reforms of Lord William Bentinck is financial reforms. In 1828, he assumed the Governor General of India. At that time, the financial position of the company was poor. The exchequer was very weak. The state budget showed a deficit of 1 million rupees. It became necessary on the part of Governor General to take effective steps to improve the financial condition. To achieve this, he adopted the following measures in the financial matters. Bentinck reduced the salaries and allowances of all officers, and additional staff were removed. In the military department, he abolished the system of double pat, peta. Double peta. Peta was an allowance to troops on active service. By these financial reforms at the time of his departure, he left the treasury with a surplus of rupees 1.5 millions. The second reforms of William Bentinck, administrative and revenue reforms. Two committees were appointed to pinpoint the reduction in administrative and army expenditures on the basis of the suggestions. The following changes were introduced in his reign. In India, reduction of employees' allowance by half, the Indians appointment who worked at far lower salaries than the English. This resulted in a good deal of reduction in the cost of administration. The opium trade of Malwas was proper related. The system of issuing licenses to carry opium from Malwa to Bombay was introduced. It considered added to the revenue of the company. The presidential courts of appeal and circuit courts were abolished in his reign. Setting up a separate revenue board was constituted at Allahabad to deal with the affairs of the northwestern provinces. The next his reforms is judicial reforms. The provincial courts of appeal and circuit courts were abolished in 1829. Increase in the power of magistrates to award punishment up to 2 years. Appointment of Indian judges on fixed salaries. Indians were appointed as sub-magistrate and sub-judges. They were appointed only in district and city courts. Introduction of jury system in India. In his reign, he adopted the vernacular as a court language. Urdu was replaced by vernacular languages. Codification of law was enacted. The lawyers to give a more clear perspective law. His public works reforms. There are four public works of William Bentinck's reforms. First one is improvement in the canal system of Northwest Province. Second one is construction of Grand Trunk Road from Calcutta to Delhi. Starting the construction of road from Bombay to Accra. The last one is introduction of steamship navigation on the Ganges. Another important reforms of William Bentinck as educational reforms. In 1813, one of the act was passed during his reign that known as a Chartered Act. This act made provisions for spending 1 lakh of rupees on the study of Sanskrit and Arabic. In 1833, which decided that the sum in question should be spent for the spread of English language and Western science. Lord Macaulay became the chairman of General Committee of Public Instruction. He presented his views in his famous lecture of 2nd February 1835. In this lecture, he condemned the religious books of Hindus. Lord William Bentinck, who decided in favor of Western type of education, through English medium in 1833. In 1838, a medical college was started in Calcutta to improve knowledge of Western system of medicine to Indian students. The next one is social reforms of Lord William Bentinck. The social reforms of Lord William Bentinck consist: one is a abolition of sati, suppression of thugs, female infanticide, introduction of English education. The first social reforms is abolition of sati. The sati was prevalent among the Hindus in the society of India. It was declared as illegal in India. Bentinck, who abolished the practice of sati in 1829 with the help of Rajaram Mohan Rai. The next one is suppression of thugs. Lord William Bentinck undertook most commendable measures in India. His one of the material welfare of the people was the suppression of the thugs. The thugs were hereditary robbers in India. They went about in small groups of 50 to 100, posing as commercial kings or pilgrims, slinking and robbing peaceful travelers. They increased in number in central and northern India during the 18th century, when anarchy reigned after the disintegration of the Mughal Empire. From 1830, by Colonel Sleeman, a campaign was systematically organized against the thugs. During his reign, the thugs were suppressed by Colonel Sleeman. Sir William Sleeman was known as the East Sleeman. The next social reforms is female infanticide. Female infanticide was one of the horrible and godless deaths committed even by civilized people. This practice, killing female infants, was very much prevalent in the places like Rajputana, Punjab, Malwa, Kutch. Lord William Bentinck, who effective step to prevent the ritual of child sacrifice at Joagar Island in Bengal. He not only prohibited female infanticide but declared them as punishable crime. The next one is the introduction of English education. The introduction of English education was a significant event of Lord William Bentinck's administration in India. Lord Macaulay, who appointed by William Bentinck to a committee headed to make a recommendation for the promotion of education. In his report, Macaulay emphasized the promotion of European literature and science through English medium to the people of India. This recommendation was wholeheartedly accepted by William Bentinck. The government resolution in 1835, which made English the official and literary language of India. In the same year, he laid foundation of the Calcutta Medical College in India. Now I come to conclude. Bentinck was a straightforward, honest, upright, benevolent, sensible man. in the history of India. His social reforms, such as abolition of sati, prevention of child sacrifice, eradicated age-old evils from Hindu society. To enforce the regulations regarding the provision of sati, he was prepared to risk his own position. Such courage and straightforwardness were seldom found among the administrators of those days. His educational reforms heralded a new age in India.